It's time for another gateway to Geats, baby. And ultimately, we're nearing the end of the show, and it's starting to kind of wrap up plots and storylines and themes. And realistically, this episode is all about like just looking at like making your bed and lying in it, right? You have made your choices and kind of living with the consequences because it focuses on two men and their ultimate reaction to this. So first things first, we have Keiwa, right? Last episode, Keiwa made his brand new world, his full desire, and it immediately goes to shit. All the bad dudes got revived because he was not specific. And because basically the way the wish is treated is that they're kind of like they never died in the first place. They kind of like pop back up in the past, and they've basically made gangs where they use their Kamen Rider powers to just cause mass hysteria, violence, just fuck the world, kind of Akira vibes, you know. And yeah, his family's basically killed off screen, and he's just like, what? I did all of this. I abandoned all of my morals so I could revive my family, and they're dead already? And he goes to fucking see why did my wish get fucked up? And basically, yeah, he's told what we kind of already know. He didn't think about it with any form of nuance that like we've been learning that you kind of have to have with your desires of like, it can't just be simple. It has to be, you have to understand the give and take of the world. And he's basically gaslit and convinced to keep working with the DGP, and maybe they can make something work, you know? And Kayla's just at a loss, essentially. And he literally goes, I'm gonna kill him. Goes to find the gang leader, and in one shot, immediately kills them. And Gekara comes in and goes like, alright guys, y'all following my dude. And they form a little gang. And what the fuck? And Michinaga basically says like, hey yo, I'll go deal with Keiwa. It's genuinely an interesting thing, especially because it's very clear, very obvious that Keiwa isn't inherently going like, yes, this is the choices, this is what I want to do. It's very clear that he is still at a loss, still being manipulated, and he's also starting to like understand like, oh, I'm being manipulated. Oh, God damn it. But, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound, you know. On the other hand, we have Neon's dad, Kyosei, getting broke out of jail because of all this chaos, right? He walks out of the jail, he gets attacked by the gang leader, the bat dude. I think it's a bat, right? The big old beat 'em up happens. Neon comes in, saves the day. They run away. They get to safety, all that kind of stuff. And Kyosei wants to give flowers to his dead daughter. The dead daughter's site, because he does it every month and like he wants to do it. And Neon basically sees that and points out, it's like, hey, you said you didn't have any love left in your heart. If that were true, you wouldn't be doing that. And he kind of takes a moment and thinks about it for a second, and it's like, whatever, I just want to deal with this, all that kind of stuff. And then Neon gets kidnapped by the same dude who kidnapped the previous daughter. What the fuck, dude? And he also has Baroba backing him up, giving him Kamen Rider powers. Jesus Christ. Kyosei, of course, gets the ransom letter. He immediately breaks down. It's like, Jesus Christ. This is I am reliving the most traumatic day of my life. And Neon's mom basically I grabs him mentally at least and just goes like, yeah, we fucked up on so many accounts. We fucked up hard. And ultimately they come to a realization that like they they do love Neon. They do see her as a daughter, and it is entirely their fault that she did not have the love she deserved, that all this different kinds of, they basically go like, yeah, no, we are failures. And Kyosei vows to not let what happened in the past happen again. So he goes to Ace and says like, hey, I want to protect my daughter. I want to protect Neon. And he gets a belt to go save Neon. He gets a new power-up, which is going to be the final form for Nako. He puts up a good fight. He tries really hard, but realistically, he's not doing that well. It's 2 against 1, and the episode finally ends with him saying Neon is his daughter, and I'm going to protect her. Really nailing home the point of him recognizing his faults and coming to this conclusion. In saying all of that, it's very fucking strange to realize that Keiwa's character arc has just been there the whole time, right? Because ultimately, Keiwa and Kyosei have been paralleled to an extent. They both lose a loved one and are stricken heavy with grief. They then make a deal with the DGP to get back that love somehow, to have a new daughter, to bring back their family, to get their wish. However, it is an unsatisfying monkey paw for Keiwa. His family is immediately put in danger again because of his wish and killed, resulting in him doubling down on guilt and going back to the DGPs, basically going like, I have nowhere else to go to try and solve this. Fuck. And Kyosei basically realizing of like, oh yeah, I have a new daughter now. My daughter's still dead. I still have that trauma. And that unsatisfied, unfulfilled want is eating them up alive, to the point where they just embed themselves deeper and deeper into the DGP, because it seems like it's the only choice they can make. It's like, like I said earlier, in for a penny, in for a pound. However, Kyosei does show that you can move into a next step of asking for help, getting help for yourself so you can help others. Because he goes to Ace and says like, hey, I want to protect Neon. And Ace is like, yeah, sure, dude. That's what I want to hear. And the entire time while Kyosei's fighting, Ace is outside keeping Kekara busy. Like, he's helping. It's not just like, oh, here's a power, good luck. No. Ask for help and you can get help. And I think, is this foreshadowing for Keiwa? I don't know. Is this a next step he cannot take? Is this him going like, no, I'm in too deep kind of thing? We don't know yet, and that's fascinating. But I do think it's hilarious and interesting that we have basically had the end result of Keiwa in the entire show, and we didn't even realize it. But hey, you know what you didn't even realize? That you could like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Hey! Yeah. You could also do a variety of other things, including follow me on social media platforms. I am on so many different goddamn places because the internet's on fire. I'm on Tumblr. A link to that is in the description. I am on Mastodon. I am on VT Social, but a link is in the description. If you're on Mastodon, you can just follow me there. Don't worry about instances. I am still on Twitter. I am still on Instagram. I am still on TikTok at Boingo_writer. Hey. And a variety of other places. I do a bunch of other goddamn things. I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/BoingoWriter. I will be streaming the week that this video is put up, and hopefully I'll be streaming at least one time a week. I'm getting back into the flow, getting back into the mindset, getting to the grind, you know. Whoa. But hey, there's another thing. If you like these Geats videos and you want to see my opinions on the brand new Ultraman Blazar, you're in luck. They're not going to be here on YouTube, though. If you want to see my opinions on Ultraman as they come out week by week, similar to Gateway to Geats, please subscribe to my Patreon. $1 a month, you will get those videos, other semi-weekly videos, that meaning every other week. Goddamn. Monthly podcasts, and other such content, including upcoming video essays a couple days early. I don't know exactly what's going to be the framework on that, but early. You're going to get them early. So yeah, go down in the description, follow me on Patreon, subscribe, put some money into my pocket, you get some content. Yeah. But in the meantime, meantime, we have some comments. First up, from Hafitz Mustaqim? Hafitz Mustaqim. I'm gonna say Hafitz Mustaqim. Hafitz Mustaqim. There we go. Boingo again with the understanding of Geats, because like some people just don't understand that these characters, because the entire show is literally based off desires, and like everyone's going through psychological torture. Yeah, this is very much classical death game, classic like battle royale kind of thing, except like we were shown that people don't necessarily die, but it's like a death of the ego. Like it's because you lose that desire, you lose those memories. You are losing a part of yourself, and I wonder, is that better or worse than just dying? It's interesting to think about it. It's a moral quandary. That's the word I'm looking for. Next up from Blaze Chaos. I wonder, have you watched Revice? Since viewers see parallels to Daiji's arc, where the conflict between him and Iki feels forced, and I don't believe that this are the only rush where the tradition of writer series to rush things in the ending. Build was an exception where it slowed to make a 45 episode series. I feel like it would be at least one day has passed between the start of the episode and Daichi's interactions with Michinaga due to his wounds healing. No, I have not watched Revice, though I have heard varying things from friends. Like, there's good parts, there's bad parts, like a lot of shows. And yeah, I may be completely off with my estimates, but it's not a ton of time between those two moments, you know? It is still very raw, very fresh. He is not Keiwa is not in an emotionally stable place at that point in the episode, so to speak, you know? But yeah, next up from Toa Nui. Definitely wasn't expecting the premium cards to be monster forms, so I guess that means my evil boy Kekera upgraded to full-on villain. He is truly the Zoom of Kamen Rider, although now I think about it, he's basically Zoom. If he got what he wanted now, all he needs is a desire for Keiwa to kill him, and the comparison shall be complete. Also, I guess this confirms Twin Command is just hit-based and not Jumato hit-based, unless our premium sponsors unwittingly turn themselves into Jumatos for all the trouble they caused the staff. So, kind of random, but I do remember there being comparisons to Tycoon and Gattack early on, and while definitely not the same, I feel seeing parallels between Gattack 2.0 and the original. Spoilers for Kabuto, specifically when Kagami was all in with the Worm Overlords, although I think Keiwa actually stands a chance against Ace without assistance. And lastly, I am super calling, even if a little late, that Keiwa's wish is going to slightly backfire with his sister. Another select case is not qualifying for Resurrection, and with at least one more game, I won't be surprised if the wish is to finally be rid of the DGP once and for all. Oh yeah, the monster forms are great. I don't think they're Yamato. But Kekero is going to be a very interesting villain, because I don't know whether at the end I want him to kind of face denial of like, no, I was doing the right thing, I was making a true Kamen Rider the whole time, I'm right, you're wrong, or if I want him to have am I the baddie moment. Do I want him to have that self-reflection of, oh shit, I ruined this perfectly good man, oh no. I think either of those would be interesting to see, especially with the characters and how they've been played, you know, so far. And I haven't seen enough Kabuto to really like make a comment on that. I've been meaning to. I think I watched like the first 10 episodes on like a train ride forever ago, but and boy howdy, were you right on that wish backfiring, because it did so hard. And you know, I'm just wondering, like, how will all this eventually line up? Will he get his family back, or will he actually have to take the moment and just grieve and move on? Will Keiwa get his happy end? Who knows? Maybe not. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. And finally, from Esconde, my respect for Michinaga increases yet again this episode, being willing to give up his life if that satisfies Keiwa's want for revenge, only to get a response that hammers in how far the downward spiral Keiwa's gone, and that he'd rather Michinaga live with the guilt of killing Sarah rather than putting him to rest. It was nice to see Neon and Ace try to talk to Keiwa, and when stopped from entering the cult warehouse the first time, Keiwa does follow Neon to hear her out. He's not completely gone, and he's still calling Ace Ace and not Geats in an irritated tone like Michinaga does, so I'd say that's a good sign, but there's an unfortunately too late reaching out to him now. And I love that Bushin sword buckle gives Keiwa the power to teleport into smoke even when not transformed. Gekera is a cruel man, but I'd be lying to say if he isn't in absolute mood sometimes. I'll be watching from the stands Sakurai Keiwa. Seeing him reveling in his idealized Kamen Rider fights was definitely entertaining. Another great fight for Keiwa, especially with Daichi trying to burrow and catch him off guard. Keiwa just waits and reacts to the attack and gets him to resurface. Daichi ratting him out and begging for his life when Keiwa's getting ready for the kill. It's quite fitting for him, I'd say. Bushin Sword's insert theme was also fantastic. At first, the title looked onto me, chair. When people looked into lyrics, their use of chair refers to those seated in charge. Kick them out of the chair. Chair, I think, is also meant to convey throne. Ace has the best intentions when stopping Keiwa before he ends Daichi, but I can't help but wishing he would have had, we still need him to tell us to cure the stage 2 victims, Tycoon. After that, you can decide what to do with them. I think that would have been more sound argument to present than just open your eyes, this isn't who you are. Really digging how we get to see more Keiwa doing his take on things usually associated with Ace, saying who knows when questioned, and his winner's speech on the roof as he declares that this is his world now, complete with a change of wardrobe. You know, I'm a fan of Ace being a mentor to Keiwa, though he was harsh in his teachings at times and or indirect. To me, it feels like Keiwa's taking the lessons he learned and applying them to an extreme fashion, and it got the result he wished for. Now, I can't wait to see the repercussions, because back then, when we saw his revised wish to bring everyone back, my first thought was, this is no way a wish this big gets granted without having some kind of catch to it. Oh boy. Yeah, I love how everything in this show is just yelling at us, telling us, Ace is telling us Keiwa's not in his right mind. Neon, Ace, Michinaga are all basically saying, like, something's wrong with him, we need to help him, and Samuri is just unlucky enough to be, like, the full brunt of it, you know? And Keiwa could be knocking out the throne, but it's also, like, especially with this episode, it's placing him on the throne, because he accidentally became the gang leader, right? Because his wish was never to be the winner, and now ultimately he'll face consequences. People are going to be hurt, and he's causing people pain, and he's realizing some of that now too, especially because his wish backfired and his family's dead again, and he's just like, what the fuck? Like, that was a wake-up call for him, because, like, at that moment it seemed like the old Keiwa was back for a moment of just like, what? The very naive, very innocent man, and then basically he was gaslit into becoming their sword again. And, like, I can see a lot of different things, blah blah blah. Though I can totally understand, like, why you go like, oh, maybe Ace should have said, like, oh, Daichi can help us. I totally understand, like, why he wouldn't, because that may just, like, Keiwa's not in a great place, and it may trigger him more, you know? It may have just been like, no, what the fuck you mean, you need the person who killed my sister, a person like that, you know? It could have set him off more on edge, you know? And Keiwa's learned lessons that, like, Ace learned during his reincarnation journey of, like, be brutal, be tricky, lie to get what you want, all that kind of stuff. meanwhile, Ace has learned kindness and teamwork from this current time, from Kawa, from Neon, from all these different people, and now he needs to impart that back onto Kawa. It's an interesting like duality of characters. You know, it's really good. It's really interesting, and that's it for this video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making these. I enjoy making these for you guys. But hey, remember, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, do all the things. And until next time, keep on geetsing on.